Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Got Ignored by Girls and Made Harem with Jiro and Momo Yaoyorozu Movie. Before we start, please go support DevDog756 for writing that awesome fanfic. Momo Yaoyorozu and Kyoka Jiro are in love with Izuku Midoriya, but so are other girls and they are scared that they're not good enough for him. However, thanks to the stupidity of a pink moron, Momo and Kyoka's way to Izuku's heart is paved. Chapter 1. Start of something great. Note, Izuku has two quirks, OFA and electric control, so think of Cole McGrath from Infamous. Mina. Girls, I have a great idea to get Midori's attention. Katsumi. Which is? Mina. By ignoring him for the week. Achiko. Are you crazy? Ignoring the guy you like is a horrible idea. Mina. No, it's not. Playing hard to get always gets guys interested. Besides, he can't pick up on romantic cues for shit. Momo. I will never understand how she made it into U.A despite her immense stupidity. Katsumi. She's right. Iken is as dense as a bag of hammers. I've been dropping hints for years and he never noticed me. Izumi. Maybe that's because you were a hitch to him back then because his quirk take longer to develop and you're still a hitch now. And you wonder why Auntie and Uncle see you as a disappointment. What if it backfires and Izuku hates you all for it? Katsumi. Izumi, you out of everyone should know Iken is incapable of hating anyone. Izumi, yeah, tell that to his hitch of an ex-girlfriend, Utsushimi. And Owabani, crazy hitch nearly killed our mom. Nijire. He and Mirio keep spending all his time with Eri and she gives them all of her attention. I helped save her and that little brat doesn't acknowledge me for it. Izumi. Role model of the year right there. Wait, did she just insult my niece? Achiko, so you think you're more important to Izuku than Eri? Now I'm glad Momo beat your ass in that stupid beauty contest. In this, Momo entered the beauty contest by Izuku's suggestion and managed to beat Nijire. Momo and Kyoka, we will hang you by the neck for bad-mouthing our future daughter. Tsu, I wonder if I can use my tongue to strangle her. Mina. Come on, don't you four want to get with Midoriya babe too? Izumi. Why the buck am I involved? We're related. Even if we weren't, I'm with Shoto. Achiko. Last thing I need to for Pink Hitch and Invisi Hitch find out me and Sue are dating. Lord knows, they'll think we're not meant to be. Do what you want, but keep me out of it. Izumi. Same. Momo and Kyoka. Okay too. Mina. Your losses. Especially you, Jiro. How do you expect to attract anyone with a chest like that? Tsu. Me 3. Ribbit. Mina. Tsu, you too? Tsu. I'd rather get friend-zoned than go with this idiotic idea. Besides, if you cared to notice, I'm already with someone. Mina. You are? Ship? Who is it? Izumi. She seriously can't tell it's Achiko? Meanwhile, Katsumi's twin brother, Katsuki and Shoto Todoroki were outside Katsumi's dorm room and heard everything. Katsuki. Katsumi, you idiot! This is why you're a disappointment. Shoto. Well, what's our play? Katsuki. Tell Izuku that's what. He helped you get with Izumi, round face with Kermit and me with Hime. It's only natural we help him out and get with Ponytail and Ears since they are the only single chicks there who have brains. Shoto. Kimiko will go ballistic when she hears what Hato said about Eri. Katsuki. The fact Ponytail, Ears Izumi, Kermit and Round Face didn't all kick her in the cunt is impressive. That and the other broads didn't speak up for what Hato said about Eri proves they aren't meant for Izuku at all. The duo walked off to plan their next move as Momo, Kyoka Izumi, Tsu and Achiko left the room. Tsu. Well, I lost a few brain cells. Ribbit. Izumi. Tell me about it. Kyoka. Stupid alien hitch. Momo. Don't listen to her, Kyoka. She has a superficial view of romance. Kyoka. Thanks, Momo. Momo. Hey, Uraraka, how come you were quick to shoot down Ashido's idea? I thought you like Izuku? Achiko. About that. Can you and Jiro keep a secret, Yamamo? Momo. Yeah. Achiko. I'm dating Tsu. Momo. You are? Jiro. Since when? Achiko. After I helped Izuku save her during the USJ. Momo. Ah, you two are cute together. Tsu. Thanks Yamamoto. Ribbit. Momo. Now that the others will scream themselves out of Izuku's love, me and Kyoka need to get closer to him. Izumi. You and Jiro are in luck, Momo. Unlike she who shall not be named, I actually know a thing or two about love. I did help Kaken and Tsu get together with Himiko and Achiko. Kyoka. But are you sure your brother sees us the same way? Izumi. Really. I saw him sneak a peek at you two a few times. Achiko. And with a body like Momo's and thighs like Jiro's, can't blame him. Tsu. Achiko. Achiko. Come on, Tsu, I'm just complimenting them. Besides. Achiko. All of this is for your eyes only, my frog queen. Izumi. Ah. Momo. They have better chemistry than Zuzu had with any of the girls in there. Izumi. Already have a nickname for my brother, huh? Momo blushed as they went to Izumi's dorm room to whip up a plan to make Momo and Kyoka Izuku's wives. As the weekend rolled around, Izuku tried talking to the girls and got ignored except by Izumi, Tsu and Himiko as they made sure to keep Momo and Kyoka away from Izuku until the perfect time as Izuku was a bit heartbroken as he remembered he was chilling with Mirio, which made him forget about it for a while. At the moment, Izuku was in his room, handing Mirio his ass on a plate as they were played Mario Kart. Mirio. That's not fair, I got stuck behind a tree. Izuku. And a cow and a penguin. Face it, dude, whether it's a real car or a virtual car, you can't drive. Mirio. I just need more practice. Izuku. What you need is cheat codes, motor skills, and a genie who grants wishes to people who suck at Mario Kart. Mirio. Well, it doesn't help that Ghost Eri is over there watching us. Mirio pointed to Eri, who was wearing a little ghost outfit while watching them play. Eri. Excuses, Uncle Mirio, Papa's just a better driver than you. Mirio sighed in defeat as Izuku got up and stretched as he decided to ask Mirio a question. Izuku. Hey Mirio, did I do or say something to make Nijire upset? Mirio. Huh? What are you talking about? Izuku. I tried talking to her earlier today, but she completely ignored me like she didn't even know me. Mirio. Only thing I recall her saying about you was how much she loves you. Izuku. Wait? Then why is she ignoring me if that's the case? Mirio. Playing hard to get to make you want her more? Izuku. Well, that's a horrible idea. Mirio. I know, right? It's the same as Sakura being a hitch to Naruto for no reason and people expecting them to end up together. Besides, I feel like Yaoyorozu and Jiro are better suited for you. Izuku. I've always been a Hinata man myself, and I thank God when Naruto got with her instead of Sakura. And now I'm really hungry ramen now. Izuku left to make some ramen as Eri started playing hide and seek with Mirio. As he was walking to the common room, he was Toru Katsumi and Nijire completely ran in the opposite direction he was walking to as Izuku felt more sad, especially given the fact he thought his friendship with Katsumi was fixed as the idiots were completely committed to Mina's plan. Katsumi. Just you wait, senpai, at the end of the week, Izuku will be all ours. Nijire. And we won't have to deal with Yaoyorozu and Jiro at all. Toru. Serves them right. They won't find true love anyway. They'd just be used over and over again and dated for pity. Nijire couldn't help but clench her fist at the mention of Momo and Kyoka's names as she absolutely hated Momo for beating her in the beauty contest and for how close she and Kyoka were with Izuku as she was glad they turned down Mina's idea. But little did they know, their plan would backfire and bite them in the ass as anyone with a working brain should be able to realize. Izuku was making his ramen as Momo and Kyoka saw Izuku and started making their move. Momo. Alright, there's our future husband. Let's do this. Kyoka. Wait, shouldn't we tell you about Mina's dumb idea? You know, to make sure he ends up with us and not them? Momo. Kyoka, if he finds out about it today or when week is up, it won't even matter. Kyoka. Oh, I guess you're right. The two girls walked to Izuku as he saw them and expected them to ignore him but was surprised when they called his name. Momo and Kyoka. Hello there, Izuku. Izuku, huh? They're not ignoring me? What's going on? Hi Yaoyorozu and Jiro. Momo. What ya doing? Izuku. Just making ramen. Kyoka. Didn't take you for being like Naruto. Izuku couldn't but chuckle at Kyoka's joke as he forgot about being ignored by the other girls, as he couldn't help but be mesmerized by Momo and Kyoka's smiles. Izuku. So, what are you two doing? Momo. Looking for you, as a matter of fact. Kyoka. Yeah, we were wondering if you'd like to hang out with us? Izuku. Really? Momo. Really. If you're not busy right now. Izuku. Not really. Sure, 30 minutes work? Momo. Absolutely. Izuku. Great, I'll see you and Jiro then, Yaoyorozu. Kyoka. Call us by our first names. Izuku, blushing. Oh, well, my mom told me never turn down a request from a pretty girl. Kyoka. He just called me pretty. Izuku went back to his room while ramen in hand, as he completely forgot he liked the other girls, while Momo and Kyoka were celebrating that Izumi's plan worked like a charm as they ran to Momo's room to change, as Izumi and Himiko were watching from the shadows. Himiko. Phase 1 complete. Nieces and nephews, here we come. Izumi. Calm your horse, Himiko. Himiko. Never. Me and Katsuki will be the cool aunt and uncles. Izumi. What about me and Shoto? Himiko. You two will be the lame buzzkill aunt and uncle. Izumi was annoyed by Himiko's comment as she ran after her, as Momo and Kyoka had their heads in the clouds. Kyoka. Soon we'll be your loyal wives, Izuku. The two girls blushed while dreaming of Izuku popping their cherries as they snapped back to reality. If they wanted their dreams to be reality, they have to be dating Izuku first. Chapter 2, Steal Yo Man. After Izuku finished his ramen and told Mirio and Eri, Momo and Kyoka invited him to hang out, they immediately knew what was up as they helped Izuku with his outfit. Meanwhile, Momo and Kyoka went through tons of different outfits, wondering what Izuku would like, as they eventually settled as Izuku waited in the common room for them. Izuku saw Momo and Kyoka arrive as he was completely blown away by their outfits. Izuku. Wow, you both look great. Momo. Thanks, Izuku. Kyoka. You don't think I look too rockstar for your liking? Izuku. You kidding? I think you look amazing, Kyoka. Kyoka blushed at Izuku's compliment as he extended his hand to the two fair maidens before him, as they accepted as they went to the mall together, as Katsuki and Shoto were watching. Shoto. The other girls will be so pissed. Katsuki. Especially Katsumi. She says she loves Izuku but goes along with that dumb shit? She doesn't deserve him. Shoto. Yep. The dumb hoes are going to escalate it very damn quickly, won't it? Katsuki. Oh, no doubt. Izuku, Momo and Kyoka were walking around the mall, just talking to each other about themselves, as Izuku told Momo and Kyoka stories from his past as they did to him, as they all laughed at their tales as they remembered all the dumb things they did as kids. The longer Izuku spent with the Creation Princess and Purple Rockstar, the faster he forgot about the girls who ignored him, as he thought today can't be ruined. But that immediately bit him in the ass as he saw a girl with fawn hair in the distance as he tensed up. Momo. What's wrong, Izuku? Kyoka. Isn't she that chick from Shiketsu at the license exam? What's the problem? You don't know her that well. Izuku. I wish. We used to date. Momo and Kyoka got extremely tense as they laid eyes on Izuku's ex, as she hadn't seen him yet. Kyoka. Didn't end well? Izuku. You could say. I broke up with her when me and Kaken both went to her house at the exact same time, with the same gift for her, as we found out she was two-timing us with each other. Momo. Why would she do that? Izuku. I have a powerful lighting quirk, Kaken has a powerful explosion quirk, put the pieces together. The two were beyond pissed that Izuku was used for his quirk, as he was incredibly kind, caring, loving, compassionate, supportive and brave, as they thought she saw them as they ducked into a close-by cafe, which proved to be convenient as they were both hungry and got something to eat. To their surprise, there was some karaoke going on as Izuku decided to do it to impress Kyoka, and to his shock, the song chosen was Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 5. I'll endure the exile. I'll endure the exile. The darkness of night falls around my soul, and the hunter within loses control. Gotta let it out, gotta let it out. Gotta let it out, gotta let it out. This demon inside has a hold of me, clenching its power, trying to break free. Gotta let it out, gotta let it out. Gotta let it out, gotta let it out. Move fast, baby, don't be slow. Step aside, reload, time to go. I can't seem to control all this rage that's inside me. Pulling shots, I mean dots, yeah, I don't miss. Branded by fire, born in the abyss. Red hot temper, I just can't resist. All this vengeance inside me. All of these thoughts running through my head. Arm on fire, veins burning red. Frustration is getting bigger. Bang, 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 pull my devil trigger. Embrace the darkness that's within me. No hiding in the shadows anymore. When this wickedness consumes me, nothing can save you and there's no way out. I'm a wildfire you won't tame. Igniting my temper, can't put out my flame. There's no way to contain this storm swelling inside me. I'm a bomb you can't defuse. Might just accept you're gonna lose. Can't turn down, I refuse to hold back anymore. All of these voices inside of my head, blinding my sight in a curtain of red. Frustration is getting bigger. Bang, 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 pull my devil trigger. When the night ends, it's not over. We fight through to get closer. Like a silver bullet piercing through, I throw myself into you. All of these voices inside of my head, blinding my sight in a curtain of red. Frustration is getting bigger. Bang, 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 pull my devil trigger. Izuku wrapped up as Momo and Kyoka were both surprised he could sing and had a great singing voice. Momo: that was incredible, Izuku. Kyoka: you never told us you could sing. Izuku: yeah, me, Kaken, Shoto, Izumi and Himiko may or may not had a little band when we were younger. Kyoka: no way. What's the name? Izuku: Jujutsu. I know it doesn't make sense since two girls are in the group, but... Kyoka: the name's cool, so who cares if it doesn't make sense? Izuku looked at Kyoka as his eyes widened and sparkled. Izuku: yeah, exactly. They then left for the beach as they watched the ocean view, as the girls were still getting used to seeing it like this due to the beach being a dump for years. Kyoka: getting used to seeing the ocean like this is still surprising me. Momo: I agree. Due to all the trash that was piled up here, I forgot how beautiful the ocean looks here. Izuku: maybe so, but I'm looking at two girls, far more beautiful than the ocean during moonlight. The two girls blushed at the compliment from the boy they love as they decided now is the time to confess their feelings. Momo: Izuku, there's something me and Kyoka have to tell you. Izuku: what? Please be what I think you're about to say. Momo and Kyoka: we love you, Izuku. Izuku was shocked and excited that Momo and Kyoka were in love with him, as out of all the girls, Izuku was most worried about being ignored by them. You see, Izuku had made a secret list of the girls he was interested in, with Momo and Kyoka were both at the top of that list. They were the two he loved most, and honestly, what's not to love about them? Izuku: I'm in love with both of you too. Momo and Kyoka: you are? Izuku: what's not to love about you too? Momo, your bubbly nature and kindness are completely endearing to me. You're beautiful, smart, and focused, and that's barely cutting the surface. And for you, Kyoka, your love for music and tomboy-like personality make you one of the cutest girls I've ever met. When you're singing or being shy, I'll always see you smile, which makes me love you even both. And I've always seen you too for who you are, not your looks, your wealth, or your chest. I see Momo Yaoyorozu and Kyoka Jiro, the girls who stole my heart. The girls were moved by Izuku's speech as they felt for him more than they thought possible, as they were happy he loves them too. Izuku: believe me, I am more than willing to accept responsibility for both of your feelings for me. Their eyes lit up with joy as Izuku took turns kissing both of them as they were officially in a relationship together. Momo: wow. That was... Kyoka: amazing. Izuku: I promise I'll be the best boyfriend in the world. Momo and Kyoka. And we promise to be your loyal wives and mothers for Eri. Izuku suddenly dropped to his knees as he started kissing Kyoka's stomach, which caught her by surprise. But she wasn't against it, as she couldn't help but giggle as it tickled a little. Izuku. You know, it doesn't matter if your chest isn't big, Kyoka. You have other qualities that make you just as desirable as Momo. Kyoka blushed at what Izuku said as he held their hands and began heading to a little vacation home his parents owned to spend the night together. Chapter 3: Calm Before the Storm. Back at Udade, Katsuki and the others felt immensely proud out of nowhere, as they had an idea why that was the case, as they all left and pilled into Shoto's car as they drove to Izuku and Izumi's home, since they figured Izuku, Momo and Kyoka spent the night there as they had the rest of the week off from school, as Achiko put Eri into a little car seat as Izumi called shotgun. Eri and Izumi, are Yamomo and the cool rocker lady going to be my new mommies? Izumi. I have complete confidence that Momo and Kyoka are your new mommies, Eri. Eri. Yay! After making a quick lunch stop, they arrived at the Midoriya household as Katsuki tried to open the door, but it was locked as Izumi unlocked it with her key, thinking Izuku locked the door last night, and everyone was still asleep. Izumi. Hello? Mom? Dad? Izuku? Anyone home? Achiko and Tsu checked Izuku and Izumi's room, which was pretty obvious to find, while Izumi checked her parents' room as no one was home. Achiko. Weird. Where else would they be? Tsu. Maybe they're at either Jiro's house or Yamamo's house. Ribbit. Katsuki. Yeah, because staying the night at your girlfriend's house after the first date isn't a dumb idea. Tsu. Maybe their parents aren't home. Katsuki. What if their parents come back early, huh? That would awkward. Izumi. Oh, wait a minute. Izuku must be at our cottage. Katsuki. Oh yeah? That completely slipped my mind. Achiko. You guys have a cottage? Izumi. Yeah, it's a little ways away from the city. Shoto. Well, next stop. They all peeled back into the Shoto mobile as they drove to the Midoriya cottage. Meanwhile, with Izuku and his girlfriends. Izuku was walking down the stairs holding Momo in his arms, as she couldn't walk properly because she and Izuku got in some early morning hacks which they both enjoyed, as Izuku laid Momo on the couch. Momo. You were incredible, Izuku. Just like last night, and you are a very early riser, baby. Izuku. Can you blame me? I get to wake up next to two of the greatest and most beautiful girls I've ever met in my life. Momo smiled as she pulled Izuku in for a kiss, which Izuku accepted happily as they kissed for a minute as they stopped as Izuku went to take a shower, as Momo decided she'd make some breakfast as she walked to the kitchen, albeit very slowly. Lemon skipped. Katsuki. Oh, knock it off, you two. Izuku. Oh, hey guys. Izuku walked to the couch and he sat down with Kyoka on his lap. Izuku. So when did you guys get here? Izumi. Few minutes ago. Also, tone it down next time, will ya? Kyoka. You heard us, huh? Izuku. That's our bad. We thought it was just us here. Momo gave Eri to Izuku as he started rocking her in his arms, as Kyoka saw how adorable she looked while sleeping as Eri started waking up. Eri yawned. Papa! Izuku. Hey Eri. How's my little angel? Eri. Great. I was a good girl for Aunt Izumi. Izuku. That's my snowball. Eri noticed both Momo and Kyoka with Izuku and smiled at them. Eri. Hi Yamomo and Ms. Rocker Lady. Momo and Kyoka. Hi Eri. Eri. Papa, why is Rocker Lady on your lap? Izuku. About that. Remember when you asked me when you'd get a mommy? Eri. Uh-huh. Eri's eyes widened as she looked at Momo and Kyoka, then back at Izuku as she had starry eyes. Eri. Are they my new mommies? Momo and Kyoka. Yes, we are, Eri. The two both hugged their new daughter as Eri was beyond happy, as she had two mothers who love her and her papa, as she did a little celebration. Eri. Yay, I have a happy family. Izuku smiled as he hugged his daughter and girlfriends before the others joined in. Himiko. Wanted to play hide and seek, Eri? Eri. Antihime. Eri ran to play hide and seek with Himiko and Achiko as the others looked at Izuku. Katsuki. Well? Izuku. Well, what? Katsuki. The other girls. Then find out about this, they will go insane. Especially my sister. Izuku. And? Not my problem, they did this to themselves. Katsuki. Dude, this will go from 0 to 100 really fast. Izuku. I know, but I don't care. They lost their chances to get with me and I got with the best girls I've ever met. Kyoka. Izuku. Momo. You treat us too good. Izuku. You love it and you know it. Momo. We know. The girls hugged and kissed their boyfriend as the others looked and smiled at them. Katsuki. Katsumi, if you dare to try and ruin this, I'll make you regret everything you did to Izuku. Shoto. The others' hoes will definitely turn to ruin this and I won't let that happen, no matter what. Momo and Kyoka. The other girls will kill us for this. Let them try, our hubby will not let that happen one bit. Chapter 4. All hell breaks loose. As the week neared its end, Mina, Toru, Katsumi and Nijire were completely confident that their little plan would bring Izuku to them and that Momo and Kyoka would be destined to be forever alone and were waiting anxiously for Izuku to return to the dorm as time was almost up. Katsumi. You ready, girls? In 2 more hours, Iken will be all ours. Nijire. And those 2 stupid broads will be condemned to being used for pity and as sluts for the rest of their lives. However, that was heard by Denki as he and Ida as they were getting some food and were confused by what Nijire just said. Denki. What's that all about? Ida. No idea, but calling someone both a broad and a slut seems to be uncalled for. Denki. True. Hey, you know when Izuku's coming back? Ida. Sometime today. Also, it's odd that he, Yaoyorozu and Jiro all left together and haven't came back. Denki. You think they're dating? Ida. Maybe, given how often I see both of them looking at him, I'd be surprised if they weren't. Denki. Wait a minute. Suddenly, the dorm's doors opened as the dumb girls got up and were happy to see Izuku, but when they saw the others with him, mainly Momo and Kyoka hanging off his arms, they were pissed. Katsumi. Iken, you better not be cheating on us with those dumb boars. Nijire. If they don't get their hands off my man, I'll bucking kill them. Toru. They just tired, that's why they hanging off him. Right. Mina. You bucking traitors. Izuku sat down with Momo and Kyoka as Katsumi was up in their faces as yelled at Momo and Kyoka. Katsumi. Ponytail. Why the buck are you and ears clinging on Iken's arms? Momo. Because me and Kyoka are both dating him Bakuich. Got a problem with that? Katsumi, Nijire, Mina and Toru's eyes all widen in shock and rage as others started congratulating them. Ida. Good for you, Izuku, you deserve this after what you've done for us all. Koda. Why yeah. You 3 look great together. Denki. Yeah, congrats man. Mina. What? Why aren't you mad, Denki? Denki. What? Why would I be mad? Mina. You like Jiro, remember dumbass? Denki. No I don't. I've been going out with Ibara since the sports festival. Mina. What? Why didn't you tell me? Denki. Because my relationships are none of your damn business. Also, did the fact I've been going to Class B's dorms a lot not tip you off? Dude, she has the worst attention span out of anyone in our class. Everyone turned to see who the voice was as they saw a familiar set of purple hair. Shoto. Mineta? Mineta. What up everyone? Katsuki. But where is Grape? Izuku. See you took my advice. Mineta. Yeah, thanks for that Izuku. Really changed me as a man. Izuku. No problem Mineta. Izuku and Mineta did a little handshake as Katsuki and Shoto looked at each other and both were on the same page. Shoto. You're right, shit's already hit the fan. Katsuki. Told you. Izumi. Let's hope it doesn't get too out of hand. Himiko. Amen to that, sister. Katsumi. Iken, why are you wasting your time with these dumb sluts? You can do better than them. What do you even see in them? Izuku. I see two bright, smart, beautiful, and talented girls. Katsumi. Oh please. What do they have that we don't? Izuku. Well, for starters, they don't make me want to glue earmuffs to my head every time they talk. Katsumi was pissed as Izuku turned to Mina and glared at her. Izuku. As for you, Ashido, Momo, and Kyoka don't make me want to superglue and tape their mouths shut and make me think about Twitter because of your constant need for tea, and I never want to hear tea uses in that context ever again. Izuku then turned to Nijire as she flinched a bit as Izuku smirked a bit. Izuku. And you, Hato, oh my lord, don't get me started on you constantly asking a billion questions a second. Your dumb airhead ass needs to get it through your thick skull that people can't understand that. The girls were sad but still pissed at Momo and Kyoka as Toru spoke up. Toru. Hey, what about me, you hick? Izuku. I forgot you were even here. Everyone started laughing at Izuku's joke as Toru was fuming, even though no one could tell. Katsumi. Iken, please, they're just using you. They don't love you like I do? Izuku. Oh really? You love me? You really expect me to believe that after you beat and bullied me because my quirk took 2 extra years to develop? Katsumi. Iken, you have to understand, I didn't want to die as a quirkless hero. Izuku. Oh, so you didn't want me to get hurt by a villain, but it's fine when you do it? Katsumi. No, that's not what I meant. I thought you loved me. Izuku. I loved you. But that was thrown away when you treated me like garbage because I was a late bloomer. I may have rebuilt our friendship, but a romance with you was not ever going to happen. Momo, Kyoka, Achiko, and Tsu were all surprised and angry that Katsumi had the audacity to claim she loved Izuku and bullied him because he didn't develop his quirk the same time as everyone else. Achiko. I knew she was a hitch, but I didn't think she was that bad. Tsuyu. At least she isn't Hitch from Shield Hero bad. Ribbit. Momo. You really have a warped vision of love. Kyoka. Yeah, if you really loved him, you would have been there for him and support him. But then again, that led to us getting with him, so thanks, I guess. Katsumi got mad and sad as she was on the receiving end of a massive reality check, but Mina wasn't having any of it. Mina. Shut up, you bucking traitors. You knew about our plan and went behind our backs and stole Izuku from us. Izuku. Plan? What plan? Izumi. They wanted you to notice them, so Pinkich thought it would be a great idea to ignore you to get your attention. Izuku. So Mirio was right, they were playing hard to get. Izuku clenched his fist as he looked at the girls as they were scared. Izuku. You're all idiots. You honestly thought ignoring me for no reason would make me love you? Get bucking real. You played hard to get, don't get upset you all lost. Momo and Kyoka smiled at the idiots, but Nijire fired an energy blast at them which sent them flying off the couch as Himiko covered Eri's eyes and ears. Nijire. Both of you, dump Izuku now. Kyoka. Yeah, how about no, you periwinkle hitch? Nijire. I am your senpai, and you will listen to me. Nijire tried her damnedest to be intimidating, but Momo and Kyoka started laughing at her pathetic attempt. Momo. You call that intimidating? Nijire tried to slap Momo, but Izuku moved into the way and grabbed her wrist and made sure it hurt. Izuku. I'm giving you one chance to back off. Oh, and Izumi told me what you said about Eri. I absolutely hate you, you hitch. Nijire actually really scared as Izuku applied more pressure to her wrist, making it hurt more as he let go as she looked at Momo and Kyoka and ran off in tears. Mina. Izuku, you bucking jerk. You made Nijire-senpai cry, go apologize to her now. Izuku. Oh, spare me, wannabe alien hitch. She tried to assault Momo and I defended her. As you should do if someone tries to hurt the one you love. Izuku glared at Katsumi, who ran off too as Mina yelled at Izuku, but he ignored it as in the distance someone was watching and clenched their fists. Kirishima. Damn you, you weak, unmanly green-haired bastard. You stole Mina's attention away from me. Chapter 5, Family Day. After Izuku, Momo and Kyoka reviled their newly established relationship didn't go over smoothly with the Class A girls plus Nijire, but it went well with the staff as Nizu offered to let Izuku and Kyoka share Momo's room with her, which they both accepted without hesitating. And naturally Eri was excited because she and her papa could be closer to her mamas. After Izuku and Kyoka finished moving their things into Momo's room, Izuku was thinking of ways to improve about OFA and electrokinesis, as Momo sneaked up on him and hugged him, which made Izuku smile. Izuku. I know it's you, Momo. Momo, pouting. No fair, Zuzu, I'm supposed to startle you. Izuku. Well, you definitely have better chances of doing that than the periwinkle airhead. Momo smirked as she spun Izuku's chair to face her as she sat on his lap and started to make out with him, as Izuku immediately got into as he slid his hand into her shirt as he tried to undone Momo's bra but wasn't getting anywhere as Momo blushed as she broke the kiss for a second. Momo. Izuku, I'm not wearing a bra. Izuku. Oh, well, that works for me. Momo pulled Izuku back into their makeout session as he started to undone Momo's shirt, but before he could free Momo's luscious milkers, the door started to open as the two reorganized themselves as they saw Kyoka and Eri walk in as Eri ran to her mama of creation. Eri. Mommy Momo, look what Mommy Kyoka taught me. Eri stuck up her middle finger as granted looked adorable, but Izuku and Momo were both shocked as they both glared at Kyoka. Kyoka. Hey, in my defense, Pinky and Invisihitch were getting on my nerves and I thought Eri was distracted. Momo. What did they do this time? Kyoka. Called me names, insulted my chest size, threatened to blackmail us to dump Izuku even though they have nothing to blackmail us with, and then they called Eri a pathetic curse demon, and then I stabbed them both in the eyes. Izuku. If Eri wasn't in the room, I would rock your world so damn hard, Kyoka. Izuku whispered that into Kyoka's ear so Eri wouldn't hear as Kyoka blushed hard as Eri got an idea as she looked to her parents. Eri. Papa, can we please have a family day out? Izuku, Momo and Kyoka. Of course we can, snowball. Eri. Yay! Giggles adorably. They all quickly changed their outfits into something more casual as Izuku and Eri stepped outside while Momo and Kyoka changed as they all saw their new outfits. Eri. Mommy's look, me and Papa match. Momo and Kyoka both smiled and kissed Eri on the cheek as Izuku picked her up and put her onto his shoulders as they all left the dorms, as Katsumi was giving Momo and Kyoka extra dirty looks as they both checked to see if Eri wasn't looking before they both flipped off Katsumi as they both booked it after Izuku and Eri as Katsumi started throwing a hissy fit that Katsuki saw. Katsuki, it still baffles me how she doesn't get why she's the disappointment in the family. During the time they were out, Izuku, Momo and Kyoka all decided it would be best to have Eri experience lots of things she missed out on during her captivity under overhaul as they decided to take Eri to the park. When they got to the park, Eri ran around and played for about 30 to 45 minutes as the three were surprised at the fact Eri still had plenty of energy left to spare after playing for that long as they decided to go to the mall. Upon arriving at the mall, they saw that it was almost lunchtime as they got fast food for Eri to try, and they immediately found out Eri is a bit of a messy eating as some of her food was on her face but not her sweater, as Momo cleaned her up and Eri said she liked it but preferred her grandma's cooking, which made Izuku tear up a bit as he hugged his little snowball and then walked around the mall for a while. In between Momo buying cute stuff and new clothes for Eri, Kyoka walked into a music store as Izuku and Eri went in with her as Momo was going to as well but decided to let Kyoka have a moment with their boyfriend and daughter. While in there, Kyoka was going on and about stuff about music and other related subjects. Izuku listened to every word she said, and while he wasn't that knowledgeable on music, he still listened to her, while Eri had absolutely no idea what Kyoka was talking about but listened anyway because she could tell Kyoka was extremely passionate about it, and figured listening to her about would make Kyoka happy, which would make Izuku and herself happy. After checking the place out, they saw some fat bastards trying to flirt with Momo as she straight up kicked one of them in the hick as the others tried to pin Momo against the wall, but Izuku grabbed their shoulders as Momo was happy Izuku was there while the fat bastards were horrified with what they saw. Yeah, Izuku left those sorry bastards out cold in the cold while Eri was thankfully distracted as they left to continue their day, as Izuku made a note to report the fat bastards and called the cops while the rest of the day went smoothly. Eventually, Nighttime was coming closer and closer as they made their way back to the dorms as Eri fell asleep in Izuku's arms while on the way back as they made it to their room as Izuku placed Eri into a little bed made just for her as he, Momo, and Kyoka all sat on their bed. Momo. Well, today was pretty fun. Except for that. Izuku. Those ugly bastards should be grateful I didn't kill them or use my quirk at a higher level than I did. No one dares to touch my two queens and get away with it. Momo and Kyoka both hugged Izuku as he kissed both of them on the cheek as he suddenly remembered something. Izuku. Also, I have something for you too that Hatsum helped me with for a little while. Izuku pulled out 2 cases from under the bed and gave them to Momo and Kyoka as they opened them and were surprised to see new hero costumes inside them. Kyoka. Izuku, these are amazing. Momo. Most definitely, mine especially. Izuku. Yeah, yours was pretty easy, Kyoka, since I worked with what worked for your current suit and improved on them. Momo's, on the other hand, was a bit more time-consuming since, well, her suit isn't exactly the most practical thing in the world. Momo. Yeah, looking back in hindsight, I should have more ideas in my head when I had my costume made. But now I have no use for my old costume anymore. Izuku. Well, you could use it as a swimsuit or for more blushes, you know. Momo. So will you, horn dog? Momo tackled Izuku as they started making out as Kyoka walked to the door and locked it as Izuku continued where he left off earlier and undid Momo's shirt as her bosoms popped out of her shirt as he squeezed them, which made Momo hot and heavy. Momo. Enjoying your handful, my cute, handsome, sweet, hexy green hubby? Izuku. Not as much. I enjoy gazing into your beautiful eyes, my Kriati. Momo. Oh, stop it, Zuu baby. Kyoka. Wait, should we be doing this with Eri in the room? Izuku. I won't worry too much, Eri's a real deep sleeper. Kyoka. Oh, well, in that case. Kyoka threw off her shirt as she jumped into bed too as she started kissing Izuku while he squeezed both her and Momo's prefect asses as they had some fun while Eri was in deep sleep, completely ignorant of what was going on. Chapter 6 Failed Blackmail. Izuku sat on his bed as he was preparing himself as Momo and Kyoka came into the room. Momo and Kyoka. Hey darling. Izuku. Hey girls. Izuku kissed them on the cheek as they sat down beside him as Kyoka noticed something was up with Izuku. Kyoka. You okay? Izuku. I'm about to tell you two something that absolutely no one must know. Promise me you won't tell anyone. Momo. We promise, Zuu. Kyoka. We'll keep our mouths shut. Note, I'm not including the OFA users with quirks die early thing. I personally find that stupid. Izuku. Good. You two know about my 2 quirks, electric control and stockpile, right? Momo. Yeah. Izuku. Stockpile isn't my quirk and that's not even its actual name. Kyoka. Wait, how is it not yours? Izuku. I got it passed down from Almight before starting UA. Momo. Passing down a quirk, that shouldn't be possible. Izuku. Well, it is. Izuku then explained the origin of one for all and all for one, and quite frankly, Momo and Kyoka couldn't believe what they were hearing. Granted, lots of things are possible with quirks, but this was something else entirely as Izuku finished explaining OFA's history as Kyoka and Momo were still in shock of what they learned. Kyoka. Wow, that's a lot to take in such a short amount of time. Does anyone else know? Izuku. Just my sisters, Kaken, Shoto and Himiko. Momo. Wait, so OFA getting stronger with each new user, that's why. Izuku. I barely used it until after our internships. It put lots of strain on my body and All Might wasn't exactly helpful in that department since he never had that problem. That and I was so used to using my electricity, so I mainly used that. Momo. Well, at least you got something useful out of your internship, can't say the same for me. Kendo and I were basically secretaries the whole time. Izuku. Oh yeah, you did yours with Uebani. Guess I probably should have warned you it wouldn't be the best offer. I'm sorry, Momo. Momo. It's not your fault, Izuku. I should have seen that a mile away. I guess I was either too hopeful or naive. Izuku. Yeah, things aren't as black and white as we thought when we were kids. Not all heroes are the greatest people in the world. Kyoka. Like the explosive hitch? Izuku. Definitely. Hell, she's lucky she's even here in the first place. If I told Principal Niza everything she's done, she'd be kicked out in an instant. Kyoka. I wouldn't complain. Gives me the chance to enjoy singing and our boyfriend in peace and quiet. Izuku. Well, we'd still have Alien Hitch, Invisy Hitch, and the Periwinkle Hitch to deal with. Kyoka. Fair enough. Momo. Oh yeah, ready to meet our parents today? Izuku. Not really. Kyoka. As long as you be yourself, you're good. Izuku smiled as he kissed Kyoka on the cheek while on the other side, Mina was eavesdropping on them as she overheard Izuku telling Momo and Kyoka about OFA as she got an idea as she ran to Katsumi, Toru and Nijire, and told them what she overheard. Katsumi. The buck? How did it can get All Might's quirk? Mina. Don't know, don't care. You know what this means. 3. What? Nijire. We use the fact we know he has All Might's quirk and threaten him to dump Yaoyorozu and Jiro for us. Toru. We should do Yaoyorozu a favor and set her up with the ways when Izuku dumps her. Katsumi. What about Eri? Mina. Who gives a shit about that cursed brat? We'll leave her to die the first chance we get. All 4 girls laughed while unknown to them, they were being watched by Himiko, who was hiding in a tree with binoculars. Himiko. Alright, you skanks. First, you want to make Izuku's life hell but kill my niece? The gloves are off, and I'm going to get my hands dirty. Some time passed as Izuku was in the common room as he officially met Momo and Kyoka's parents, and he was definitely nervous as hell when introducing himself, mostly because of their dads, but it melted away after they started to know the boy their daughters wouldn't stop talking about, which made Izuku blush. Knowing Momo and Kyoka already told their families about him. While talking with Izuku, Momo and Kyoka's parents were all galled to know that Izuku loved them for who they are, which was an issue that Momo's had for a while, as most people who knew her for her family's wealth and influence, or in the case for most boys since she matured physically, her body. Izuku reassured them that he loves Momo because how kind, passionate, caring and smart she, while Kyoka's parents were just happy Izuku didn't find her love for music weird, to which Izuku said that added to his love for her, how much she loves music even though she was shy about it at first. Shoto and Katsuki were watching over Izuku in case he needed their help, but he had it handled as Momo for up to get them something to eat as they saw Ways from 1B enter their dorms, as Shoto didn't look thrilled. Shoto. Oh great. Katsuki. What's the big deal, icy hot, it's just headband. Shoto. He's got a thing for Momo. Katsuki. Since when? Shoto. Since after the training camp. He asked me if she was seeing anyone. Katsuki. Well, what did you say? Shoto. That it was none of his business and to piss off. Katsuki. Ponytail's going to put him down easy. Aways walked over to Momo as she asked him what he needed, to which he said she knows why he was there. But Momo said she didn't know, and then Aways placed his hands on her cheeks and kissed her, to her shock and to Izuku's anger, as he glared at Aways as he got up. Katsuki and Shoto all saw that look Izuku had on his face, and they were all scared shitless. Katsuki. Oh buck. Shoto. He's pissed. Momo pushed Aways off her and slapped him across the face as Izuku rushed towards him and kicked him in the hick with a OFA-charged kick. Izuku then kicked him in the face, sending him flying to the side as he grabbed Aways by the collar of his shirt. Aways. What the buck was that from Midoriya? Izuku. You have pretty big cojones for kissing one of my girlfriends in front of me. Aways. What? Momo's not dating anyone. Momo. It's Yaoyorozu to you, Aways. Me and Kyoka are both dating our darling Izu. Aways. Why him? You could do some much better than him, Hexy. Izuku grabbed Aways' arm and started to twist it as he started yelling in pain. Izuku. You should watch what you call her. Izuku pointed to Momo's parents, as Aways had a heart attack seeing Momo's dad give him a death stare. Mrs. Yaoyorozu. Kind of funny we talked about Momo being objective and have that happen. Izuku. Don't get me wrong, Momo is really beautiful, but you are pathetic if you only see her for her body. Aways. Well, I saved her from that freak-out nature. What did you do for her? Izuku. Oh, looky here, we got us a simp. And to answer your question, I actually got to know Momo and helped her improve herself. Momo. Now I want to know who told you I was available? Mina. We did, Rich Hitch. Izuku. Oh, great. Izuku turned to face Mina, Toru, Nijire and Katsumi as they all looked overly smug. Kyoka. Goddammit, why can't I have nice things? Mika. What's with them? Kyoka. They're jealous me and Momo are with Izuku, and they thought it would be a smart idea to get him to notice them by ignoring him. Kyotaku. Why can't some girls realize playing hard to get doesn't work most of the time? Mr. Yaoyorozu. Young lady, you have some nerve insulting my daughter like that. Momo. Dad, don't waste your breath. Izuku. What do you want now? Katsumi. Oh, we'll tell you what we want, Iken. You will break up with Ponytail and Ears and date all of us and let Ponytail date Headband. Izuku. And why would I do that? I already told you all I hate your guts. Mina. Because we know the secret of your second quirk. Shoto, Katsuki, Momo and Kyoka. Oh shit. Izuku, what? How the hell do they know about? Daughter of a bastard, one of them must have been eavesdropping when I told Momo and Kyoka. Toru. So, unless you want us to expose your secret, dump them right now. Izuku. You know what, go for it. Nijire. W what? Izuku. Do it, I'm calling your bluff. Everyone wouldn't believe you anyway, and I can just deny your claims, that and you do know Momo's parents are extremely influential, right? They can ruin your credibility before you think about it. Not that Katsumi has any good credibility given what she's done. Mr. Yaoyorozu. I may not know what this is about, but I will not allow my daughter's happiness to be ruined by a bunch of jealous idiots. Mina. Fine, you brought this on yourself. Nizu. Oh, I don't think so. Everyone turned to see Himiko standing beside Niza as the four dumb skanks were scared shitless as Niza calmly drank his tea. Nijire. Principal Nizu. Nizu. Now, what's this about blackmail I've been told of? Mina. And nothing, sir. Himiko. Oh really, then what's this? Himiko pulled out a tape recorder she had on her and played the audio of Mina, Toru, Nijire and Katsumi planning on blackmailing Izuku into dating them, and also the part about abandoning Eri as Izuku was pissed. Nijire, that crazy hitch, she spied on us. Toru, damn it. Mina, you blood-crazied hitch. Katsumi, you villainous hitch. Why does Katsuki even love you and my parents like you more than me? Nizu. Now here's what's going to happen. You four will leave Izuku, Yaoyorozu and Jiro alone, and if you pull a stunt like this again or talk about what Izuku said, I'll make sure to ruin all your lives, am I clear? Four skanks. Yes, sir. They all ran off as Izuku laughed his ass off as he thanked Nizu and Himiko before Momo kicked away in the nuts and kissed Izuku in front of him and told him to get lost and that she is Izuku's, and he ran off crying like a hitch. Izuku apologized to his future in-laws about that whole mess as they all said it was fine, but they wondered what Izuku's secret was, to which Izuku would tell them later when they were all in private, when suddenly Eri came back as she was with Izuku's parents the whole day as Momo and Kyoka introduced her to their parents, and Eri was really happy to meet her other grandparents. Momo and Kyoka's parents were all happy that they already have a granddaughter as Izuku told them how he found and adopted Eri. After a while, Kyoka and Momo's parents went home as Eri said bye to her new grandparents as they all went to their room to sleep. Momo. Did you have fun today, Eri? Eri. Mommy Momo. Kyoka. And were you happy meeting your other grandparents? Eri. Your mama looks like you, Mommy Kyoka. Kyoka. Yeah, I look a lot like my mom, except for my chest. Izuku. Kyoka, don't be upset over that. You're perfect to me, no matter what you look like. Momo. And you never know, Kyoka, you could fill out your shirt anytime soon. Kyoka smiled as she hugged Izuku and Momo as they kissed each, as Eri had one question for her parents. Eri. Where do babies come from? Izuku, Momo, and Kyoka all hesitated before Izuku passed out due to embarrassment, as Momo panicked and tried to wake him up while Kyoka tried her best to tell Eri without scaring her for life. Chapter 7: Izuku vs. Kirishima. A few weeks have passed since the incident involving Katsumi, Mina, Toru, and Nijire failing to blackmail Izuku into dating him, as they actually stayed away from Izuku, Momo, and Kyoka. However, it only made things worse, as Mina and Katsumi were starting to be driven mad with jealousy, while Toru and Nijire were just pissed off they failed and got in trouble. One day after class, Izuku was packing his things while talking with Momo and Kyoka when he suddenly saw Kirishima walking towards him. Izuku. "Oh Kirishima, what's up?" Izuku's answer came in the form of Kirishima punching him in the face, as Izuku staggered a bit from the suddenness of the punch as a crowd. Katsuki. "Shitty hair, what the buck is wrong with you?" Kirishima. "You bastard, it's your fault." Izuku. "What?" Izumi. "You dumbass, my brother hasn't done anything to you." Kirishima. "Oh yes he did and knows it, don't you, you unmanly bastard?" Kirishima activated his quirk in his arm and punched Izuku in the face again, as a bit of blood fell from Izuku's nose as he just wiped it away as Izuku turned toward the windows and opened it, confusing everyone present. Suddenly, Izuku grabbed Kirishima with Black Whip before jumping out the window and sliding down the wall, and right before he reached the ground, Izuku punched Kirishima downwards to the ground as Izuku also landed on him for good measure. Izuku grabbed Kirishima by the collar as he headbutted him, followed by kneeing him in the gut before Izuku threw him at the wall. Izuku. "I don't know who pissed in your Cheerios, but don't take it out on me." Kirishima. "You bastard, you stole her from me." Izuku. "Can I not spend one day with my girlfriends without someone getting pissed off? I swear, if you're jealous because Momo and Kyoka love me, I'm going to kill something." Kirishima. "I don't give a shit about them, this is about you stealing Mina from me." Izuku. "I'm sorry, what?" The people who were still in the classroom were currently watched the spat between Izuku and Kirishima as they all face-palmed. Shoto. "You have to be kidding me." Katsuki. "He's seriously pissed that Pinky loves Izuku instead of him despite Izuku hating her guts." Tsuyu. "They belong together if they get mad over the dumbest things." Ribbit. Achiko. "Preach to that, Tsu." Izuku. "You can't be serious right now." Kirishima. "I've known Mina since middle school, we hung out together, and promised we'd become heroes together, and the moment she lays her eyes on Mr. Big Shot with 2 quirks, she completely forgets about me and focus on you." Izuku. "Sounds more like a you problem rather than a me problem, especially if you never told her how you feel." Kirishima. "I never got the chance to because of you. She'd constantly go on and on about how much she loves you and hates Yaoyorozu and Jiro for being so close with you. And honestly, I don't know what they see in you, you're nothing close to a man, you're too damn open with your emotions and always think about others rather than himself and..." Izuku took the chance to deck Kirishima in the face while he was distracted ranting about Izuku. Izuku. "Your parents clearly never taught the most important part of being a man." Kirishima. "What?" Izuku. "Manners mocketh man. Do you know what that means?" Kirishima. "Shut up, you weak unmanly bastard, burn in hell." Kirishima ran towards Izuku, but Izuku jumped out of the way and kicked Kirishima in the side of the head with a OFA-powered kick. Izuku. "Let me teach you a lesson then." Izuku activated full cowl at 30% as Kirishima entered his unbreakable form as the two glared each other down. Izuku. "Alright, I can either wear him down by hitting him with powerful strikes or I can wait out his limit, he can barely handle unbreakable for 40 seconds. Kirishima rushed Izuku and threw a punch as Izuku dodged and moved back from Kirishima since Kirishima's speed is hindered while in unbreakable as he ran towards Izuku and punched him again. This time Izuku blocked it by creating an electric shield as Kirishima started punching it to try and break it. Izuku. 10. Izuku deactivated the shield as Kirishima stumbled as Izuku blasted him with an electric rocket at point-blank range. Kirishima went flying as Izuku grabbed him with Black Whip to stop him from hitting the school and threw him in the other direction before slamming him into the ground. Izuku. 20. Izuku pulled Kirishima to him as he briefly jumped up to 45% and punched him in the gut, followed by a swift kick to Kirishima's right arm at 50%. Kirishima held his right arm in pain as Izuku jumped back down to 30% as he ran at Izuku and went to hit with his left arm, but Izuku caught the punch, threw Kirishima back before using Black Whip to restrain Kirishima and channels his lightning through it to stun him. Izuku. 30. Kirishima surprisingly resisted being stunned before trying to kick Izuku, but Izuku jumped back before planting his feet on the ground. He then leaped towards Kirishima as he bashed both his fists into Kirishima's gut as hard as he could without hurting his wrist as Izuku started to charge his lightning as Kirishima ran towards Izuku once more, but Izuku suddenly smirked. Izuku. And 4-0! Kirishima turned back to normal as Izuku unleashed a massive storm of lightning on Kirishima's dumbass. Kirishima yelled really loudly in pain as Izuku made sure his lightning wouldn't kill Kirishima, but just really hurt as after Izuku finished his attack, Kirishima fell over and passed out. Izuku then lifted him over his shoulder, used Black Whip to reach the window he jumped out of and jumped back inside as he threw Kirishima to Ida. Izuku. Take him to recovery, girl, and make sure you tell Mr. Aizawa what he did. Izuku grabbed the hands of his lovely girlfriends as they walked to the dorms. Meanwhile, while that was happening, Katsuki and Himiko were following someone who they managed to see slipping out of the school as they figured that wasn't good. After trailing the person for a bit, the blondes both stop as they overheard the person talking to someone as their eyes widen as the person said Shigaraki as they both made themselves known to the person they followed. Katsuki and Himiko. So, care you explain why you're chatting with the LOV Aoyama? Chapter 8, Proposal and Epilogue. Katsuki and Himiko were both glaring at Aoyama, waiting for him to give them an answer to why he was paling around with the LOV as Aoyama was shaking in his boots as he tried to run for it, but Katsuki used his explosions to propel himself towards Aoyama and knocked him out cold. Katsuki. Well, Frenchie is going to have a lot of explaining to do. Himiko nodded in agreement as Katsuki picked up the unconscious Aoyama and headed back to the dorms. After they got to the dorms, they informed the whole class along with Niza what they over. Everyone was shocked as they tied up Aoyama and waited until he woke up as Niza called Almight's detective friend, who's a walking lie detector, as after a while, Aoyama woke up to an interrogation. The whole class was yelling at Aoyama, waiting for him to explain why he was going behind their backs and talking with the LOV, being all understandably hurt that they were betrayed by someone they all trusted and cared about as Aoyama began to explain everything. Aoyama told them that he was actually born quirkless and that in order to not have him go through the same pain and torment other quirkless people do, his parents made a deal with All for One and gave Aoyama his quirk, but the catch was that Aoyama had to be All for One's mole inside U.A. or risk the deaths of his parents. Despite having Tsukachi there to confirm that Aoyama was telling the truth, they all could tell he was telling them the truth as the tears flew down Aoyama's face as he had genuine regret and disgust for himself by the tone of his voice, and out of everyone, Izuku sympathized with Aoyama the most. Izuku knew what it was like to be treated like dirt for not having a quirk, though Izuku was extremely lucky to the fact his quirk just needed more time to develop itself while Aoyama wasn't that lucky. Izuku was in thought when Katsumi blasted Aoyama with her explosions as everyone just looked at her with WTF looks on their faces. Katsuki. Katsumi, what the buck is wrong with you? Katsumi. Who gives a shit? He's working for the villains, he deserves to die. Ida. Did I not just hear everything he said? And it's confirmed he was telling the truth. Katsumi. Don't care. Katsumi went to blast him again as Aoyama braced himself, but Izuku stepped in front of Katsumi and grabbed her wrists, very, very hard. Katsumi. What the? Iken, let me go! Izuku. Not unless you stop acting like a hitch. Katsumi. Iken, he backstabbed us, he deserves it. Izuku. Answer this, are you attacking him because of him working for All for One, or because he was quirkless once, just like me? Katsumi. Of course not, Iken. Katsumi said while stuttering, left Izuku completely unconvinced as he shoved her to the ground as Momo kicked her in the cunt, while Katsuki just looked at his sister. After a bit of trying to talk Aoyama down, which Izuku was able to done, Niza told Aoyama that he would have to face some form of punishment for helping the League. Despite it being against his will, but Niza promised he'd make sure it was too severe of a punishment, as Aoyama told them where he was going to meet with All for One himself to receive new instructions as Class A came up with a plan. The day eventually came as Aoyama met up with All for One to receive new orders, and while All for One was going off on his typical evil shtick, he was unaware of the fact he was surrounded until Aoyama smirked as his skin started melting off, revealing it to be Himiko the whole time as she slashed All for One as Izuku rushed him while using full cowl at 50%, and he punched All for One across the face and went into the ground as the rest of the class along with Endeavor and Mirio showed themselves as a massive fight broke out. All for One basically ignored everyone else and solely focused on Izuku due to being the current holder of One for All, but they used that to their advantage. Mineta chuckled his balls at All for One's arms and legs to restrain him as Shoto and Endeavor both hit the system of evil with powerful fire blasts, which hit All for One dead on due to his arms be restrained, but it didn't hold for long as All for One, after freeing his arms and legs, blasted the two Todorokis back, but suddenly got kicked in the back of the head by Ida, who was yanked back by Tsuyu as Achiko found an opening to make him float with her quirk. All for One then got blasted by multiple bolts of lightning from Izuku right as he found himself being rushed by Sato, Shoji and Mirio, which sent him flying as Izuku grabbed him using Black Whip as he slammed All for One into the ground before throwing him into the air and flying up before flying down towards him with incredible speed as he planted his boots into All for One's face. All for One fell face first back into the ground with incredible impact as Katsuki blasted himself towards All for One and unleashed a powerful explosion which sent the 100-plus-year-old villain as Kaminari shot All for One with electricity, which stunned him for long enough for Kyoka to stab him in the back with her jacks right as Momo ran All for One through with a sword, and they all moved back as Izuku went to 100% full cowl and rushed towards All for One and hit him with a United States of Smash. The attack went right through All for One's chest as he went flying into the air as Izuku let out a full-power ionic storm as it hit All for One and gave him a new experience of pain. The attack then ceases as Izuku deactivated full cowl as All for One fell back towards the ground, barely clinging onto life as Izuku stood over him. Izuku, it's over, All for One, you lose. The life then finally left All for One's body as Izuku fell backwards as Momo and Kyoka caught him as they could all rest easier now. Over the next few weeks, the rest of the league was captured since without All for One and their doctor, they were basically running around with no idea what to do. As for Izuku, he was treated like a major hero after killing All for One, but Izuku just wanted to rest as Niza gave the students a month off to get some well-needed relaxation. As for Aoyama, his parents were freed, but as Niza said, Aoyama did have some punishment, but Niza stayed true to his word and made sure it wasn't too severe, which ended being 3 months of house arrest at the dorms. However, Izuku with some help from Shoto had a surprise ready for Momo and Kyoka as halfway into their break, Izuku decided to go through with the surprise now as he, Momo and Kyoka were alone in the common area, enjoying being together. Kyoka, I'm very damn glad the league isn't a problem anymore, so we can finally get on with our schooling in peace, hopefully. Momo, you never know, Kyoka, anything is possible. Izuku, whatever we come across, I'll gladly stand by you too, always. Izuku smiles as he got down on one knee and showed Momo and Kyoka 2 engagement rings as both of them were beyond happy. Izuku, Momo Yaoyorozu, Kyoka Jiro, will you two marry me? Momo and Kyoka, 1,000,000 times yes, Izuku. Izuku got up as he placed the rings on their fingers as they both smiled as they dragged Izuku to their room for some fun. Time passed by as their time at Udade was not as messy and chaotic compared to their first year, but it definitely was an experience as Izuku, Momo and Kyoka eventually made up with Mina, Toru, Nijire, Katsumi and Kirishima to an extent, although calling them friends would be pushing it. Izuku, Momo and Kyoka's wedding was held during the end of their second year in Udade as their friends and family were happy for them, while Eri was beyond happy to have her papa and mamas together, as she was definitely one happy little snowball. Eventually 7 years have passed since they all graduated from Udade as Izuku, Momo and Kyoka couldn't be doing better for themselves as they were up pretty well in the hero rankings, but they didn't care much about their rank as they just focused on helping people and having time for themselves. Izuku was currently at his home as he had his two lovely wives as they looked at the couch to see Erika with her baby siblings. Momo had a boy who looked almost identical to Izuku but had Momo's hair, while Kyoka had a girl who looked like Kyoka but had green and purple hair while having her father's green eyes. Izuku smiled as he put a blanket on his kids as he smiled as Momo and Kyoka walked to their kids and kissed them on their foreheads, very happy to be where they are now.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.